In this video, we're going to look at using custom activities in VPL. Custom activities are a way to hide some of the complexity of a VPL diagram. I have a diagram here which is similar to the previous one in the introduction to VPL, where we are controlling a robot, in this case it's a simulated robot, using an Xbox controller. Most of the calculation, however, has been moved to this custom activity that you see in the middle of the diagram. The custom activity has its own tab up the top and contains its own blocks that calculate the left and right values for the power settings to send to the drive so that it will control the robot. This custom activity can be created very simply by using the activity option in the basic activities panel up here. By dragging one of them to the screen, you get a new custom activity, you get a new tab. You can then add additional blocks into that, and the whole thing becomes one block on the original diagram, which simplifies things quite a bit. We can take this even one step further. Having created that custom activity and verified that it actually works, we can go and create a diagram that contains nothing but a custom activity. So here I've created a custom activity, called it joystick calc, which is the calculations on the joystick values. And in there you see it's got exactly the same code, but the main diagram here has nothing else in it. If you have the academic or standard editions of Robotic Developer Studio, then you can actually compile this as a service. You have this option available. When you create a new service, it becomes available immediately in the services panel for you to use in other diagrams. So by moving your custom activity out into a diagram of its own and compiling it, you create a building block that you can then use in other services. For example, here's another one which at first glance you would say, but that's exactly the same one we started with. Well, no, it's actually not. The difference is that in this case we're using the compiled service, whereas in the original we were using a user-defined activity, and you can see so over here in the properties. They will both behave exactly the same. The only difference is that in the second one I can use this joystick calc service in any other service where I want to make the same calculations. So I could write multiple different programs all using the same set of calculations and not have to rewrite them. More to the point, if I want to make any changes to those calculations, I only have to change them in one place, and all of the other programs will automatically get the new calculations. So let's just run this and verify that it actually works. It starts up a DSS node, starts up the simulator, and shows me the current power levels. And as I move, the power levels change, the robot moves around in the simulated environment. And that's all being done by calculating the power settings using a separate service.